Okay. All right. So this is a series of exercises that a client of mine asked me to give her for when you're working at home or at the office, if you can do it, and you're sitting all day long at the computer and you have a couple minutes to hop up and do something just to get your body moving and to incorporate a little bit of strength training, stretches in your day without having to add it more on the back end of your day when you're already tired. So this is just set up for a couple of just one or two quick things, and then you sit back down and go back to work. Okay. She also specifically asked for exercises for the tricep, which is this muscle here, that bat wings that nobody wants to move. All right. So we want those strong so that they're not waving when we wave. All right. So there will be a few of those more so than some of the other exercises because of what she wanted. All right. Thing to keep in mind with that is that even though I'm showing 3 or 4 variations for the tricep muscle, you wouldn't do them back to back to back. So there are just variations that you can use. So one time you use one of them, the next time use a different one, or the next day use a different one, and just rotate them out. Okay. A couple of the other things that we will do is a kettlebell swing with a heavy weight and a jump squat, and those two are good ones to incorporate, especially if you're starting to get into perimenopause and menopause, where our body needs to lift heavy, and jumping is good for our bones and our skeletal system and the bones. Okay, so you'll see a little bit of both of those, and then I will end with it's almost like a downward dog, but against a wall, so that you can do it at your office or at home and not have to actually get on the ground. Okay, let's get started. So triceps variation. You have the strict, just a tricep press. All that looks like is with your weights. You'll go overhead, and the elbows are going to be by your front of your head, and you're just going to lift straight up, extend the elbows out, and then come right back down. Straight up and come right back down. Okay, and you'll do that for, depending on the weight, if it's heavy weight, you're looking at maybe 6 to 8 reps. If it's lighter weight because you don't have heavy weights, or you're just starting and you want to train up to heavier weights, then you may do a few more repetitions, 10, 15, 20, depending on the size of your weight. Okay? If you are getting perimenopause and menopause age, then you're going to want to do heavier weight, build up to heavier weights, less reps. Okay? A couple of them on the wall. What you can do is a tricep dip, for the lack of a better title for it. All right, so you'll have your hands flush on the wall. I don't have a wall, so I'm going to use this beam here. But basically what you're going to do, the hands are just going to be where you're comfortable, about shoulder level. And what you're thinking about is just your elbows bending, so you're bringing them straight in. They're not out to the side. They're in line with your body. Just bringing your elbows to the wall, and then push with your hands right back out. And you'll feel those triceps pretty quick. Straight in, press with your hands out. So you're not doing a push-up, maybe the same mechanics, but it will feel differently if you think about what your triceps are doing, and the arms are staying in line, they're not winging out, and it's not a wide grip. Okay, the other one you can do is you're going to put one hand here, kind of on your shoulder blade. The other hand that's working will be on the wall. The further away your legs are, the harder this is, so bring it where you can. What you're going to do is keep your body straight like a board. You're going to bend that elbow, so you're going to let your body come in, and then you're going to press out with that arm that's on the wall. Let your body come in, press back out. So you're not caving and you're not leaving your butt behind. Everything's coming in together and you're pressing back out. All right, further away your feet are, the harder it is. So if you want to go deeper, you may need to bring your feet in closer to the wall. Good? All right. I think that is all of those. Okay, another arm series you can do. These can be done at the same time, or you can do them 2 different times. So you choose whatever weight you're comfortable with and safe with. You can do just a bicep curl, which is just straight up and down. And you want to make sure the shoulders are back. You don't want them rolled forward as you start to curl. So shoulders are back and down, not excessive, all right? Just back and down in the slot and curl up and down, okay? You can do an overhead press. So you'll start here and you're just gonna go straight up and back down, straight up and back down, like that. If you are limited in time and you wanna combine, you can combine those two. So it's a curl, change your hands, overhead press, back down the shoulder, change your hands, uncurl it slow and controlled. As you uncurl it, don't let the shoulders pop forward. They stay back even as you uncurl. Okay, all right, let's go into some lower body. Kettlebell swing is a really good one. It's a full body, plus it works a lot of the glutes, hamstrings, back muscles, all that we need, and it brings some arm and abdominals into it. Okay, all right, so you choose your weight. The point of this one is it's not a squat, it's more of a sit back and chest is up, so you're not curved, okay, chest is up, and you're not arched. You find that middle like a board, okay, and then you're going to use your hips to pop yourself forward and back down. But notice how a lot of my upper body is moving, and I'm using my hips to pull myself up. I'm not doing a squat like that. Okay, all right. Okay, the other one, let me get my breath back. That was a heavy weight. Okay, next one you'll do is a jump squat. So if you don't have a kettlebell or you want to do a lot less weight to start with, you can use a dumbbell and you just hold it like that. So then you're here and you're going to squat and you're just going to jump. Okay, you're not doing anything with the arms, they're just staying down. So you may want to start with lighter weight until you see what it feels like. With the kettlebell, same thing, it's here, you're squatting straight down and you're up, up, up. Good. The thing about breathing for the pelvic floor, especially if you tend to leak, is make sure you're not holding your breath. When you hold your breath, the pressure can go down on that pelvic floor and can make you leak, okay? You also don't want to be gripping the pelvic floor to keep yourself from leaking. The pelvic floor needs to be able to relax and engage. Relax and engage. Can't stay tight, can't stay loose. So it needs to be able to go through the full range of motion, so when it needs to keep you dry, it's ready. Good? All right, followed up with a stretch on the wall. So again, your hands are on the wall. I'm gonna use my beam of my porch here. But what you wanna do is think about a downward dog is how I think of it. So you're gonna come like this. Knees are relatively straight. Everything's in line. Your back, I think you can see me, back is straight. And then what you're gonna do, if you have the flexibility and the motion, is you're gonna drop your chest and head through. You're not poking your head down, everything's kind of staying in line, but you want to drop it down. Hold it for about 3 breath cycles. Melt your body on each exhale. And you can curve if you need to, just to stretch, and then drop it back down. This is really good to get our shoulder blades back after we're on the computer all day and our heads are like this. So it's just really good to kind of reset it all. All right, let me know if you have any questions.